Hey everyone, thanks for tuning in. Welcome to the show. I'm Jay
I'm
Blaze,
Bobby Summers.
and we're bringing
What we bringing?
opinionated conversations on a variety of topics from perspectives that really don't matter on the Everything Obsolete podcast.
What's up, everyone? This is the Everything Obsolete podcast, where topics and discussions are like pretty current, but their opinions are obsolete. That's Jay Blaze. I'm Bobby Summers. You already know, come take on the world, one obsolete opinion at a time. Let's do it. Today, ladies and gentlemen, yes, for today we have a few things, like always, that we want to spit out there to the rest of the world. A couple of them might be serious, and then the rest of it will be fun. We got a little bit of sports and a little bit of some hip-hop culture. We're going to just sprinkle that up on there. Got to get her take on everything for sure, because that's going to be the cherry on top for everyone. So let's do it, y'all. We're going to start off with something we probably started off one of our other episodes with, but on the other side, on the good side, well, pretty much good side of things. We're going to start off with this Sean Combs story, allegations, speculations. Everything, of course, is alleged on this pod. So we just want to talk about it. I mean, there's so much that I want to bring up to Jay. I don't know if she's privy to a lot of the things that's going on outside of the hip hop world, as far as like as it pertains to social media, especially. So I'm gonna reach out and touch some of those subjects with her, and we'll see her take on it for sure. So, but with the Puffy allegations, I mean, I know for sure you must have heard
of course.
Some of the with Cassie. Mm-hmm. So you kind of know it from there, right?
Yeah.
Like not we don't know everything, but we know what happened.
What's really fact and not fact. But
yeah,
just speculation.
She did it before, like I think just before last year they did the law changed. No, not changed, but the law allowed anyone who felt as if they were a victim. There was no statute of limitations.
Yeah, you could file.
So you had like a year
before
to file, right?
Now it
so
could
she
be
did
infinity.
it right at towards the end of that.
Yeah.
So she, but I mean, in retrospect, it worked out very well for her because he paid whatever he needed to do. However he gave payment to this woman, whether it was money, stock, because they're not telling us that part, right?
Yeah.
They want to tell us all the other bad shit, but they don't want to tell us exactly
Well, they're not telling us. What happens is that the media kind of feels that they know what's going on. So what we hear is speculation, really.
But he paid her off something.
Well, yeah, he did.
She was.
Everything that comes out has obviously been in a process to come out. It just doesn't come out. It has its process. So obviously, both parties know what was going to happen.
I'm with it.
Yeah.
I'm with it.
So they're informed before it's publicized.
Yeah, probably.
And you get to dictate, but so much what you want out there, and what whether it's good or bad. Like, it's going to have to come out anyway. That's why you have PR people that are going to tell you, hey, you got to let this out. It's going to put a ding in your representation and hinder this. But this is the only way you come out looking a certain way, better than, So.
Oh, I feel like we're coming in hot on this subject right off the top.
Well, because it's still ongoing, and then.
Well, this might be going. So I'm gonna read some of this stuff, so just so you can refresh your.
Well, I know what's going on. Well, what the latest thing was, they obviously went to his home and stuff.
Yes, that's what I was gonna read. That's what I was definitely.
Which is crazy, because but again.
The agents. But not just anyone, like Homeland Security.
Yeah, so it's a big deal, but then you don't know where that really, that's obviously more than what we know.
No, at the time for sure, but Homeland doesn't come to your home
For no
without
reason.
facts.
Right, exactly.
Right?
Everything leads to a bigger.
So when you want to claim I'm innocent to proven guilty, it's all good. I believe me and you would be the first ones to be like, yeah, let's wait. We're big on that. Let it saturate, fam, because everybody's gonna jump on shit. But if Homeland Security is running up into a couple of your homes,
they got something.
Come on.
They're obviously doing it for something.
Yeah, they're not. This is not regular. They're not.
But
running up into,
I applaud him at a certain degree for not coming out of pocket and speaking
like
about
crazy.
Yeah, like because then you sound you letting everything, take its course, and that's how you kind of have to do it because you're gonna feed into what the hoopla is.
So toodles. That's like toodles to P Diddy for not acting out of pocket during this wild scenario. That's basically what you were saying.
Of course, he's being coached how to.
You think so? You think he don't already know? He don't already know the way he should be acting and.
No, he knows. He's a smart man when it comes to that.
But you still think he's coaching like he's getting
Well, yeah, I'm pretty sure he's pissed that he wants to speak his mind, but he's also a businessman, so he knows how to act like.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
That makes sense. As far as like, going deeper into
and then they gotta dissect what is at hand too. Like obviously these people who are claiming these things that have happened or things that they've seen, you gotta dissect it. Like why all of a sudden you're saying it? Is it because you didn't get whatever for something? You know what I'm saying?
You're talking about the fine line of trying to get money and trying to make someone just your opportunity to pounce on someone while they're down.
Yes, yeah.
So or is it legit? Or is it legit? Because it could be legit too.
Yeah, and he's a mogul. Yeah, he's the mogul, and he has a lot of money, and he's had to obviously sacrifice a lot of his business ventures.
Well, this is the opportunity to find out if that money he got was due to dirty moves.
So they're looking into all of that. So,
no doubt. With
it's
that,
a bigger picture than what what the media is like portraying. Like he doesn't have this business anymore. I mean, you're just protecting your assets.
Oh, he sold all his assets, so nobody could take them from him.
Yeah, and then with all this stuff, you don't want other partners and businesses to. Because when everything's all said and done, after everything's out in the clear, however that comes about, you're protecting your family at the same time because it's not about you, it's about everything else. So
and what else you do? You just protect. Like everything ends as far as business when he probably got rid of a lot of his things. Everything ends on a good space with those things.
Yeah, including the victims. No,
I'm talking about his business venues. Yeah. I'm talking about his business venues. So, like he sold his tequilas type stuff and probably gave a lot of artists back their rights that they were dying for a minute. He fixed all of that, the little things that really, you know what I mean? Where he probably would have kept those in his pocket for a long time if no problems happened.
Yeah, you got to own up to what is true. So at the end of the day, if half of those issues and things that occur are true, then you got to own up to it.
I don't think he's ever going to own up to it. So that's out the picture. I think it's he's going to either say he's innocent, or if he is found guilty on anything, he's not going to just be like, well, yeah, okay, I did it. No, he's not going to do that. He's not going to own up to that. He's going to be like, nah. They're just looking at it in a different light, so it seems that way. But so that's always going to be his turn.
And I'm pretty sure, as a businessman, and all these things that have been spoken of, him having parties and all that kind of stuff, and things that happen behind scenes, and how he, conducts his way of business with other people, and how he maybe
those names are soon to pop up too.
Yeah,
they have to.
And then there's people
Anybody
that work
done-
with him for years that probably are like, what is going on here? Like, I've never seen this side of him and stuff. So it's like,
all
who?
the ones that have seen it and don't say it haven't
Right,
said
because they
nothing
don't want to
either.
be in the mix and they don't want to have to address or whatever.
Perfect example is this dude Rodney Jones, who worked for him just last year, saying that he was forced to engage in relations with sex workers that Combs hired, and that he has footage of this.
I mean,
That's probably one of the reasons why Homeland was able to run into his crib. If you're giving people proof like this, that's how Homeland runs into your crib, right?
Yeah, like I said, if all that's being handled by authorities and above the NYPD and whatever, LAPD and all that, if it's going like hardcore government wise,
Right.
then yeah, they're doing their investigation and homework on things.
And talking about people with lesser names, and you wonder like, why wait? And then you got people's names like the Casey's and the Joey Neals, the Joey D. Neals. Their names are big enough to give courage to the lower named person to be like, hey, I was in that same predicament too.
A victim is a victim, so But
so,
I hear
but
what
like
you're
you
saying.
said, it's a shame. You mentioned this before. It's a shame that it's even like that. Like these lower names aren't heard just because their name isn't as big.
It doesn't matter. If someone who's lower claims something of that depth, it's gonna come up. So whether
they stayed
under
Jane
the radar,
Doe instead of saying who they are, because no one's gonna care who they are.
Those are the cases that you don't really hear about, and you just be like, oh,
but
this
that's the sad part. Why you don't hear? That's the sad part.
Well, it's not publicized to like the
no,
degree
it's still
of
sad
someone
because
else.
there's so many girls. I'm not even gonna say women. I'm gonna just say people that are saying that they're keeping Jane Doe, that are accusing Sean Diddy Combs of mad stuff. So, and they're staying, there's at least 3 or 4 easily that are staying Jane Doe. The Joey D. Neals, the Rodney Jones, and the Caseys are the ones where they're able to speak their voice now. You know what I mean? Like, but the Joey D. Neal,
because those are the people that actually went and was like, I'm going to put a claim on this situation.
Joey D. Neal, her claim, she's claiming from 1991. She just did it now, but it's for an altercation from 91.
Yeah.
That's like before Biggie. That's when Combs is probably trying to he's running around with Clive Davis, whoever he's running around with, trying to probably start up his own label. Now you talking early Sean Combs. It seems like every other, at the time when all of this was really, because I think it's kind of, you don't hear it as much now. Like, so a lot of it might be getting taken care of. There might be a lot of cease and desist. God knows what's going on. But women were coming forward. You know what I mean? Like out of the woodworks, and it, like you said, like it's
and then they're investigating those things and the claims that other people, those people are claiming he did. Now they got to make sure that their word is bond, that actually those allegations took place, and and were you there at the same time? Like you're not just gonna say I was there and you were never there. Like you gotta facts.
It was along with like stuff that the internet goes wild with. If we didn't mention this before, but like his jet was in the air when they did all of this raiding, but he wasn't on his jet. So the internet went kind of nuts with the suspicion that a lot of stuff that he has on people that he could use to back himself up was on his private jet flying around, because again, who flies around, whose private jet is flying in the air without them in it?
Then who's saying those things?
Then it doesn't, another way it doesn't look right is because now it's like, when that means your private jet be moving without you, which means it could be moving anything, including young women. Like, so this is how the internet goes wild with stuff, because all you got to do is
put it out there, and you could take it however you want.
However you want it, when the facts are not really, you know what I mean? So, again, crazy subject to talk about.
A lot of
I wanted to touch base on the Diddy. We know about the Diddy stuff, And it's gone so crazy that they've even turned the pause game into a no Diddy game, and I think you were calling it more like mockery because they're mocking a dude.
You're putting somebody down in there, like you
or just using something while they're down to kind of mush them a little bit more. Yeah. So the internet went crazy with that no Diddy shit too. So yeah. Then there's things like if we didn't say it already as well, there's things like Mace letting it be known that reparations are coming and karma is a motherfucker. Yeah. It will come bite you in the ass. So, and he did, he was talking about that just like that, not verbatim, but similar to those words where he were like, when he was like on his pod or his TV show with Cameron, or It Is What It Is, they were just like, yo, he was in high spirits. And Cam was like, I get it. You're like, you're in high spirits. We really know why you're in high spirits.
He worked with them. He
worked with them, but his word that I liked he used the most is that he escaped that shit.
But he could speak on because the outside
he escaped
because
it.
yes.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. So he's like, I don't have nothing to do with it.
He took the money hit.
But I know what, he, out of his mouth.
Yeah.
It could be either or. He could
doubt.
just saying it just to say it, or he could say it because he really means it.
He means calm as a motherfucker. I guarantee that's how I'm going. That's how I'm rolling with it. He's saying that he's like calm as a motherfucker, and karma just came after your boy Sean. Yeah, karma's right on his ass right now. Yeah. So we'll leave that subject.
Yeah.
Like that. We like dropping that type shit on y'all real quick, and we're gonna go into some other hip hop shit we got going on. Just as of the last couple of weeks or two, and that's the new god of this era. Let's call him the new god of this era because he's not like from our era. But your boy Drake, the Drizzy, the sixth god, whatever, the Canadian, wop, half black, half Jew, whatever the fuck you want to call the dude. He's definitely got the music industry.
Headlock,
smashed, right? So I mean, he goes way past the music industry now, but he knows what he's doing. He's a businessman. He got his shit rocking, but he's beefing with everyone now that used to be your friend.
Yeah, that's weird.
Now,
I think it all comes around after a few years. It gets boring, and it's like, oh yeah, like
they have nobody to do but to compete with themselves, so they have to turn it into
which
this.
Is weird. But this is not the time to do that anymore. Like everybody's grown.
Yeah, but do you want everybody to be friendly? Which is I don't really want to speak on the beef so much, but I want to speak of the relation of beef in hip hop, which is where you was just going. You feel it's kind of like the NBA, old school, new school. The old school is like that. The new school motherfuckers, they all buddy. And I feel like that's what was happening in hip hop. When you got motherfuckers like the Locks, they like, bro, you say something slanted, we're gonna respond. And I feel like if everyone's friendly, there's no slanted words coming out of nobody. So I feel like they know this. So is this all a game, or are they into all of this together?
Yeah.
Hey y'all, we're about to go all in the boxing ring. No hold bars, but you come as you feel. If you want to go soft, you go soft. If the next nigga goes hard, they go hard. We gotta spin this hip hop shit back. So like to the way it was.
Yeah.
So how do you feel? Like you feel like motherfuckers should be like, it's not the old school ways and they should just do their shit. And niggas like Drake actually and J. Cole, I'm sorry to cut you off, they're not new school niggas.
No,
Drake already got more than a decade under his belt.
But what are you really mad at? You can't. Don't tell me
all these
mad
niggas,
about
all these niggas is
girls.
dating. They all dating and fucking the same bitches.
Well, then that's not even worth it anymore. Like if you look at it, like what are you?
And I don't want to just say bitches because then the bitches are also fucking the same niggas. So it's the same way both ways.
Because of the girl, you trying to flaunt your talent and who got a better bar than who.
Well, that's what it should be about. But in order to express that, you got to put a nigga down,
No,
though,
but
right?
is the girl wifey or she's just somebody?
Well, no, they're not dissing girls. They're literally dissing each other.
Yeah.
But then they'll be like, Drake is a he know how to play this game. That nigga will take your ex-girlfriend like he did to Rick Ross. Because now, with the Rick Ross beef, which is all part of this J. Cole, Sean John, you hear me? Big Sean, J. Cole, Kendrick, Drake, Rick Ross, Future, Metro Boomin, because it was his album that the Kendrick Lamar, and then they came out with a part 2 to that.
Yeah, but J. Cole supposedly apologized to Kendrick Lamar at a concert,
which got niggas mad. Yeah. Because why, like, this, we in the gang, nigga.
Yeah, so
like, don't apologize for what you doing. Like, stay true to who you are. So if you're saying you
But then obviously his apology comes from staying true to who he's are. Because then you start thinking about, like, why am I mad at my own man for what?
No. But he already responded. So responding is who you truly was. Apologizing for it just means that you didn't. Now you realize that you didn't want to do it because it made more of a hoopla.
So what was said on the rap doesn't matter anymore?
That's what you're trying to say by apologizing?
Yeah, I don't get that.
That's why you don't apologize. And that's why motherfuckers like Joe Budden on his pod was like, a lot of his other co-podcasters, they were like, man, I'm done. Oh, I see somebody, I'm done with J. Cole. I'm so mad at him. It wasn't Joe Budden's. It was another pod I was watching. When Nick was like, yo, I'm done with J. Cole.
No, if you're saying I did it because I was heated at the moment, like I don't know. But there's
he explained, he went into depth, J. Cole. He was like, yo, my peoples was getting at me, like, go respond to him. We in here with you. And he was like, ah. And so but my dude, this is hip-hop art. This is what hip-hop is kind of based on, battle rap. The art of hip-hop, the art of rap music is off of battling. So go to war, nigga. Don't stab a nigga with your sword, and then when you go back to your castle, you fucking destroy your sword. Like that don't make sense. If anything, you should be wiping the blood off your sword and sharpening it for the next motherfucker.
Be ready.
Shoot to kill. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Be ready.
Be ready. If you are ready, you don't gotta get ready. That's how niggas talk, right? And it's still a competition. J. Cole, I know for a fact you think you're the best rapper in the world.
But so does
Why do you need to apologize for killing another nigga? You don't. But you a grown man, you do what you want to do. Right? But my nigga, you got your fans that think the same thing. Kendrick got his fans that think the same thing. Then you got the outside world, you got your peers. They're going to be like, my dude, whether you responded or not, you the man. Same thing with Kendrick. Kendrick was just responding to a song that was a little bit, because in the song that J. Cole had with Drake, he said something about the big three. He said, they talk about, Kendrick, me, and Drake all the time being the best. So in the months, like a year, that song is like months old. Mm-hmm. Kendrick just responded to it and was like, fuck a big three, it's big me.
Yeah.
That's how you're supposed to do it. Yeah. Going back to the Drake side of things now, then Rick Ross said that he got a fake nose done. Do you know all about this?
Yeah.
So that made Drake chuckle, right? Rick Ross talking about he the song that he has with Drake, like who wrote it. He's like, I know who wrote it. Saying, subliminals like that. Like you wouldn't guess who wrote these songs. But Drake is like, for real? So he dropped the song and he mentions it because on the part 2, well, it's not that it's boring, it's that maybe they have this plan.
I think all that stuff comes full circle. It's like every few years, every 10 years, every 8 years.
What, like the rap beef picks up?
Yeah, again.
Like really?
Yeah, I guess goes to silent.
You feel like every 10 years.
Yeah, it's just like, oh, I wonder if someone tells them like stir up the pot.
Stir up the beef pot?
just so that the music could be I don't know, it's just weird.
He basically has, so when they made the second song, Metro Boomin, it's literally like a part 2 to that Kendrick song, And that's the one that has Rick Ross, Future, if I'm not mistaken, A$AP Rocky.
Yeah, but I thought Future and Drake were buddy. They did so many albums and concerts. Like they went on tour. Like just last year they went on tour type of thing.
I don't know how to explain this to you.
That's embuste because I was 21 Savage. But I'm saying he's done a lot of stuff.
So you got and then A$AP Rocky. I don't know, he was on it too.
Yeah.
So you on a song with people dissing me. That means so the one or two songs that Drake just dropped a diss on, he was talking. He put everybody's name in the song.
Yeah.
Anybody who right before that song he had beef with, or he thought he had beef with, he put their name in the song. So, he even put that dude Kai Siant, that internet famous dude that just got famous, young kid, Kai Siant. He even put his name in the rap, not beef wise, but mention him because somehow.
He's relevant.
He's relevant because that's another whole story because he signed like $150 million contract just off being internet famous.
But just for him being him on the
internet. He's truly him. He's like 3 feet tall.
You're right.
Like, he's praise to him.
Yeah, he's good.
Salute to you, my G.
We'll
try to meet you there one day, God willing, but we are nowhere near your young ass age. But Drake, here's a list of everyone involved in the Drake-Kendrick rap beef. So you got Drake and Kendrick, Future, Metro Boomin, Rick Ross, Pusha T, J. Cole, The Weeknd, because The Weeknd goes by Abel now, right?
Yeah.
Or Ben. He used to be down with OVO.
Yeah.
But then or close enough where he was almost going to be down with them.
But doesn't Drake got beef with French Montana too? Because French Montana and Weeknd are tight.
Listen, The Weeknd, 21 Savage, SZA, A$AP Rocky, and Joe Budden.
So that's the list. With SZA too?
That's what it says, man. I don't know. I can't answer all
of
these.
He needs to take them.
I don't got the answers, yay. I don't got the answers.
I'm not yay, I'm Jay. And then on top of that, he needs to loosen up those rolos that he has in his hair.
Who, Drake?
Yeah. Stop looking like
I don't know if he still has that, so I have no idea. But
I mean, when does grown man start wearing rolos and hair clips in your hair?
Well, he wants to get that Jerry curl thing going. No, he got braids. I thought he got braids. Yeah, he got cornrows.
Sometimes he walks around with the scrunchy rolos like my grandmother used to do.
You calling him Grandma Drake?
Whatever.
Drake, she just called you Grandma Drake because you got the rolos. All you need is a bata. If you don't know what a bata is, I know you know plenty of people that'll tell you what it is, but you be in the rolos and the bata, going around fucking cooking pateles in the kitchen and shit.
All right, that's just
so yeah, like that. I wanted to talk about this.
I see it all the time. I just laugh at stuff like that.
I just feel like why, like because you said,
I feel like we're moving backwards. Like instead of uplifting. And then they're your friends, and all of a sudden it's like, now y'all beefing? Why? Because...
He said some shit like...
I don't get it.
I don't know, Drake, when he goes...
This probably won't last for that long. And if it does, I think it's all publicity. That's my opinion.
Well, that's the... I was reading a bunch of shit right there, like...
Yeah, because I read a thing said that A$AP Rocky, I guess... on one of the raps, basically said that he smashed Drake's baby mama before he did. Yeah, but then he smashed your baby mama before you did. But so did everybody else.
But that's why on the one song that I know Drake came out with, he was like, look, if your baby mom wanted to kiss and tell, you'd probably be mad. Like, but it was more of a direct towards Drake. He wasn't saying that whoever else but if she wants to kiss and tell with what she did with me, you're gonna be tight.
Yeah. Just right? like someone, I guess, asked Drake to play a song he did with Rihanna. He's like, I no longer do those things.
Well, I mean, that's that might be a business one, though. That's not necessarily that he and that's all. old ass song.
Yeah, but when you're performing, you perform the best songs that made you up top. Those one of the best songs.
That's where I could disagree with
No,
you.
but it becomes a business thing. Like you gotta X that out because you gotta pay her, and paying her is actually involving her group, and you just want to stay away from
and you're
it.
not
Right.
there
So
you go. I feel
safe.
like it's more of a move like
Yeah,
that.
of course.
You know what I mean, than anything else, because you see Rihanna going to Chris Brown concerts right now.
I haven't seen that, but
what? She was at 2 of his shows for sure. One of the ones where he was like when he was crying at when he was singing one of his slow songs and he was tearing up singing his own song. She was right in the crowd.
No, I didn't see that, and I see a lot of that, but I don't see that.
You didn't see that? I'm telling you, I saw.
Bring it up, find it.
I would have to go. I would have to go on my feed to look at that, find that. But
probably edited.
Nah, man. Like, why you don't think you think her being there is edited? Or I'm not saying that she was crying. I'm not saying that he was tearing, crying.
No, I'm
but he was choking while he was singing. They get emotional when they sing some of these meaningful songs. You know what I mean? But from what I understood, she was in the crowd. Not that means anything. It doesn't mean anything. I don't know but so my thing is like, why motherfuckers will use anything against you? You can't, if you're a fan of Rick Ross, you can't go to his fucking concert because you're J. Cole. And if later down the line y'all got beef, he's gonna bring up, well, you was sitting at my show. Like, I think at this point,
with like, it's the same thing as you showing up to the same venue that you're invited to. As an artist, if someone invited you to a party.
No, but then you're doing work. I'm telling these people, how do you go to someone's show as a fan?
Yeah.
Why you can't be a fan? You don't need to be a fanatic.
No.
But why you can't go and enjoy, who you want, SZA? Why can't A$AP Rocky watch SZA perform? Why Justin Bieber can't watch Selena Gomez perform? Why Chris Brown can't watch Drake perform?
It's their choice.
I mean, if you got real beef, different story. We're talking about I think they don't do it purposely. That's like having friends that don't click on your video. They're your friends. If anybody should be clicking on your video, it's your friends.
Yeah.
But if everybody else is not clicking on it, it don't matter because those are not your people. But every one of your true friends should be clicking on your video. They're your friends, right?
Supposedly, yeah.
It's the same thing, but niggas don't do it because they're like, I don't need to support them.
Same thing like if, like designers when they invite these artists, so because these two are not.
You can't invite them.
Yeah.
You can't.
Or you feel like I ain't going because he's not going. What makes you a bigger person is you showing up. Now, is that other person as big as you that could show up to support that person?
But what about the designer? The designer has to choose and pick between either one of you.
He's inviting
or she. They want. Yeah. I want both of y'all to wear my shit.
But it takes both of you, to be the bigger person.
Yeah, you can't be like, who's on your guest list? If you're like that, you're already showing a side of you that me personally I wouldn't like. So I don't even give a fuck if you Cardi B or Nicki Minaj. If some other nigga is inviting both of y'all and either one of y'all bitches is like, is she gonna be there? Like, why are you even asking that? Number one.
Am I gonna get this privilege before this? Then it gets
like, are you serious? Yeah. Like that shit is like, come on, bro. Y'all not there for y'all. Y'all there for the designer.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And then when the designer wants you there because the designer probably got y'all in the budget to pay y'all anyway. So now it's, the designer's paying me this amount of money and you
to wear this or whatever.
And you got paid nothing to wear that. Like, are you seriously went that low?
You should be so lucky. But sometimes fame gets to people in a sense where they're like, they're untouchable.
I feel like it creates, it makes a monster out of people for sure. But like, if you stay true, which is, if we're just bringing it back to J. Cole, I guess, bringing it into that light, him apologizing, keep him true to
himself.
And he really probably don't give a fuck about nobody else.
Yes.
So that's exactly what we kind of, but he still went to the war, fought the war, and then
But it could have
apologize
been a heat
later.
of the moment thing for him. You know what I'm saying? And then now you
I
start
mean, it
thinking,
definitely
and like you
was.
said, it's probably his people was like, dude, like, you just took it out there. Are you ready to, continue it? Because it's going to branch off or whatever. And then it's like, you know what? He's really my type of dude and whatever. And then that's where the apology comes in.
Yeah.
So you got to own it. You got to own up to it.
If they truly are friends without, then yes.
Yeah.
If they weren't, I mean, regardless, this is still a competition, as I said before. Yeah. You gotta fight your way. Like, you fought your way in. That doesn't mean you stop fighting while you're here. You know, and this is all being said. You know what I mean? We're not saying that they're actually going to war, like, with weapons. I mean, their tongue, pause, is their weapon. So they're gonna go in, hit that beat, and go ham, right? Like, that's what you're supposed to do. All of them, females, male, all of them, they're supposed to go as hard as they can and do the best that the shit that
but
they
that's
like.
That's how rap is anyway. But not necessarily when you start preaching someone's name or names. Now you're looking for shit.
Now it's personal.
Yeah.
Right?
So it's not personal. To say that anything that hasn't came out in the past 10 years hasn't been, about certain people. But you don't also have to mention names. You can make assumptions. You know what I'm saying? You can make hints.
But I think today's world, they want the direct. I mean, I think our era would want it direct too. But my thing is these beefs, a lot of it seems petty.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Like we're moving backwards.
Yeah, I don't know.
Forward,
I don't know.
Like,
because really, I don't think nowadays motherfuckers is literally fucking each other's people. If you fucked them way before, what does that have to do with now? You know what I mean? Like, if you were in a relationship with someone right now, are they fucking someone else? Then that's a problem. Yeah. But I guarantee you none of that is happening. You know what I mean? Niggas are saying, oh, I did this, I was with her, or she's saying I was with him before. Yeah. That was before. Yeah. Are you with them now? You telling me while I'm with him, you're with them? That's a problem.
Now unless you're proving a point that, dude, you just like this type of person forever.
Didn't Drake say that? I mean, Drake, rewind. Didn't Chris Brown say that about Quavo? Yeah. Like, you fucking my old bitches. What the fuck is that? My thing is, I didn't like that Chris even had to mention that. Yeah. I don't feel like you want to rap? You want to be rapping Chris Brown? Cool, do that. But you don't need to say that type of shit, because you know what? That's history. Yeah. It don't matter if the bitches that he's fucking, you don't even fuck with those bitches no more. So why even mention that shit?
He didn't mention her name in that one. He mentioned just him, but he also then mentioned his group that he's no longer with. So that's like a double whammy. You're this person, you were this group person, and you no longer this group person. Right. You know what I'm saying? So like when Kanye came out with his listening thing, and Offset was on stage, Chris Brown is on stage. Obviously, they're not like friends like that, but you can put that aside for other people and coexist on the same. So it shows
on behalf of someone else, right? Because it was for Kanye,
exactly,
or whatever, his listening party,
and which you should be able to do, because you're in this business that long that you can hold yourself accountable, and it's not about you at that moment.
Yeah,
you know what I'm
when
saying?
it's
just like when you on a runway show and that person's sitting right next to you.
When it's literally not about you. Yeah. But if you're
if back years, take it back 10 years, 20 years ago, you couldn't be able to do that, because the mentality.
Oh, niggas was coming out with guns,
and they were on some other power.
They were walking in with guns and not and shit. Yeah, and
they were on some other. They were on paraphernalia shit that
Oh, yeah, definitely. We wanted to get into that debate. Me and her could talk about that. That's literally like our life, and that's exactly how we grew up. But for the hip hop world and culture, we wanted to bring that to the light and let y'all know that everything Obsolete Podcast. Yeah, we know what's up a little bit about what's going on with that. We're gonna get out of the beef mentality and get into some other beef, actually, sport wise. We go into we'll put the two together, the women's Final Four and the men's Final Four,
The women outbeats the men this year anyway.
Oh, 100%. We'll probably wind up talking more about the women's Final Four because it was more exciting. I'm thinking somewhere between 5 and 10 million more people watched those games than they did the male games, which is a big move for the women's side.
Oh yeah, about time.
The 4 teams on the women's side of things was UConn versus Iowa and South Carolina versus NC State.
Either way, on this year's draft is going to be crazy.
For the women's?
Yeah.
Oh,
100%. There's so much talent.
Guarantee you, any big name that was in the Final Four that are going pro will be drafted in like the first 10 picks.
Yes.
The first 10 picks of the first round are going to be all the women that were in the Final Four, 100%. The only one I think is Juju Jones.
She's young.
She's like a freshman, so I don't know if she's going pro. I think she's staying in college.
Yeah. Staying in college is better.
For her, yeah. I mean,
because you just build on experience.
Only because you could get paid. You don't need to rush to the NBA now if you're making millions before you get to the NBA. WNBA.
But, just you become more mentally stronger and you're able to, you don't go into the big leagues not knowledgeable. Not that college is not,
I mean, they're not specifically
you just gain more like knowledge of the game, their patience.
Yeah, they're not necessarily training you to go mentally into the WNBA.
Yeah.
But again, you can use what you learned in college and help you navigate.
And then you perfect every part of your game that you want to grow into better. And then if you put yourself out there early and you get yourself too early in the league, like, you might not be able to perfect those skills you have because you're limited.
You won't get minutes.
Yeah, you're limited. You're limited to minutes.
Limited to everything.
Yeah. So, and then women's basketball, WNBA season is definitely longer than college.
Of course.
Longer than college. So, you got to build that stamina too.
I mean, even for the men's side, 100%.
Yeah.
100%.
And the work you got to put into it, because the WNBA is growing still, and it's still putting itself, and women are speaking on what the rights of, their pay should be, and what they're bringing to the cities and all that stuff.
The women that are coming, that's a good one, because the women that are coming into that WNBA right now, they're about to change. I mentioned this in a few episodes, like, they're going to change the game, and changing the game, they're going to change the contracts.
Yes.
And the endorsement deals.
Yes. And the women who are playing are also wanting to reach out to women that are billionaires to feed into their organization.
100%.
So, you got people
100%.
who want this person, buy a team. I'll work for you. You know what I'm saying? So it's just opening up a lot of...
that's 100% though. Yeah. They've been trying to do that. So my thing is when they try to these, especially because it has a lot to do with Caitlin Clark, but and all the women that are coming with her, the Reeses and the big girl from South Carolina. If she's 6'7", she's big. She actually got drafted by the LA Sparks with Reese. They're going to be on the same team.
They're going to Chicago.
They're going to Chicago. So who's going to the LA Sparks? Is it Cameron, the friend of Steph Curry?
She's like a sister.
Yes. Is she going to the LA Sparks?
I think so.
I think so too.
I think so. She's tall. She's taller than Steph Curry. She looks like
now she is.
She looks like a violin. She is skinny tall. She wore this nice dress too. Well, it was a skirt. Could have been 2-piece.
So then for the championship, you had South Carolina versus Iowa State.
Yeah.
Right? And in that one, South Carolina took advantage of their size. and was able to withstand a little barrage from Kate and handled their business and took Kate down. So that's back-to-back championship losses for Caitlin Clark, which before that happened, they were trying to, a lot of people were saying, will this affect her legacy as far as not winning a chip? Like, does she need a chip? If she gets a chip, she'll be considered the best female basketball player ever coming out of college. My thing is, all her accolades are still there. She just doesn't have a chip. But losing back-to-back chips only, is only a small blemish, for someone of her status. Like, she's won so much. I guess not winning on that level, people will use that against her.
Yeah, but don't they want her also to play for the Olympics? Like,
yeah, but I think she absolutely
should. But WNBA starts in the summer.
My thing is, no, but the WNBA stops during the Olympics. It's the way it's panned out.
Yeah.
My thing is, she hasn't played one WNBA game yet. So as much as I want her to be in the Olympics with the rest of the girls, you got to give all the other WNBA players their spot.
Yes, of course.
Like, you can't
jump over
come on.
and leap.
Because not for nothing, if you're gonna tell Caitlin to come join you in the Olympics, there's probably like another 5-6 collegiate girls that just came pro that could come with her and play in the Olympics.
Yeah.
So with that being said, like, she's gonna have a lot to prove, because the women, they're not being soft about it, especially someone like Diana Taurasi. She was like, man, it's a great opportunity, a great look for her. She's a great player, but she's about to come with it. We're grown women over here. Like, if you have what you have, bring it. But just understand, we bite back.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, we don't. Nobody's scared of nothing over here.
Yeah, we ain't gonna treat you like.
We're not treating you like whatever. However you thought shit was going on in college, it don't go down like that.
Yeah, you gotta build that tough skin.
So she kind of said
not that she doesn't have tough skin, but
no, it's
a different.
If you come in and you bust everybody's ass, power to you. It's all good.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? We know you're gonna eventually come with something, but don't think it's gonna be like just a walk in the park.
Mm-mm.
And then reverting to the men's side of things. The men's Final Four, NC State, which is crazy because NC State made it for the women too. And UConn, which was crazy because the women made it to the Final Four too. Purdue, and last but not least, Alabama. Those were the 4 teams for the men that made it. The 2 that made it to the chip was Purdue and UConn. For the men, UConn wound up winning the chip. Interesting stat for them. I'm bypassing all of that because, one, I don't feel like the men had enough guys to talk about like the women did. The women had women everywhere.
Yes.
The men only had the Purdue center. He's going pro. He's a lot to talk about. He played very well in the chip, but his team lost.
Yeah, that's the one Shaq was admiring.
Yeah. So you got Purdue losing to UConn, right? But UConn, in that they've won back-to-back final championships in college. Right. That's the first time since like 06, 07 Miami. I guess when Joakim Noah was with Florida Gators. I think they were the last team like in the 06s, 07s to go back-to-back, which, if I'm not mistaken, is the Joakim Noah teams. That's how far back we're going, right? So the interesting stat with UConn is that in these last 2 chips, in the bracket system, they've gone undefeated. Obviously, that's how they win the chip, right? So they're like 8 or 12-0. All 12 of those games, they win by more than double digits. All 12 of those games, I think they've trailed for like in 2 years, 12 games, they've trailed for like 20 seconds. So they basically never trailed anyone. They went undefeated and they won 2 titles. And they're beating people by an average of like at least 10 or more points. I think the average was more like a 12-point average or something like that. I might be off on that, but it's definitely double-digit win average.
That's keeping the strategy the same. Like they didn't change anything. Don't fix what's not broken. So.
But players are moving on. It's not like between the 2 years, they lost players because they went pro, graduated, and yet they keep this. That's the amazing part of it that I don't think it was talked enough about, but they did talk about it. And I saw, especially Jay Williams, he definitely spoke about it enough. But still, I feel like the women's side of it overshadowed the men big time. For the first time, I feel like ever.
Yeah, that's why people said that this
you said it. This was just too much talent on the women's side.
Which is
the men's talent was probably okay, but not the way the women just came out, man. The women just came out like on a whole other, and it wasn't just like just happened. No, like the past 2 years, the women are on fire.
In the past 2 years, the women who've retired from basketball have become more outspoken, more
definitely
televised. Yes, so there's a lot more out there, and they're they're branding the women brand that way. So that's a plus, and that's what everyone's waiting for. Even the NBA players are waiting for that. They're on livid.
I like it.
How long it has taken for them to live up to that stamina.
I mean, they made such a name, especially the new girls coming out, like the Caitlin Clarks, that Ice Cube's big 3 offered her $5 million. You heard that one?
Yeah.
Like, they try to keep it on the low, but it's going to come out. That's Caitlin Clark.
And you got to give what credit is due. You know what I'm saying? Like
he said she literally could play in that because it'll. There's only like maybe one game that he said it doesn't even matter. I would reschedule it just for her. There's only like one game that interferes with her WNBA career.
Gotcha.
Like she literally could.
Yeah.
That $5 million is more than what she's going to make in the WNBA, but it's not more than what she'll make outside of the WNBA.
No, because there's a money bracket for those.
For what do you mean?
I think it's like $233,000 for contract wise for.
For the women. Yeah, you saw that somewhere? Yeah. I knew I could have guessed that.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna say I would. I could have guessed.
Thousands, not millions.
Oh, exactly. You know what I mean? And it's thousands for like not 1 year.
No,
so
I
it's
think
230,000 for like 2, 3, 4 years.
I think it's like either 3 or 4 years.
Yeah, because that's a rookie deal.
Yes.
So even if you're a pro,
but they make more now because now you can make money or for other things besides your craft, So you.
No. You talking about in college or in the pros?
In pros.
Well, you could have done that,
especially if you have a name.
How do you think all these women are making their money? You know what I mean? Because
endorsements and
the veterans are still probably having like a 3-4 year contract. That's $2, $3, $4 million, $5 million.
But then somebody who like Caitlin Clark, who has this high appraise on her game as on top of everything else.
She's gonna bring in.
Yeah, she's gonna bring revenue in. Like
no, she's gonna bring revenue, but we need sponsors. We need.
Yeah, she's bringing that on her own. Her name and her stats and what she does on the court just brings that on. Anyone's gonna be like, hey, can you drink this drink?
The women that are already, like the Kelsey Plums. That they're vets. They're not going out the door anytime soon, but they're still in the game. They talk a lot about they want to because there's only 8 teams.
Yeah,
they want to expand, and that's big. That's a real big thing. Mm-hmm. But you can't expand without the money.
Yeah, and you can't expand about you need the talent. You need to fill.
Well, I think there's enough talent, and proof is this draft that just passed. You know what I mean? So
it still has to grow.
About
There's
investment.
Got to be some
they
more.
Need investment. Yeah. Don't be scared to invest in the WNBA. We'll leave it like that.
Yeah.
Because you can't.
Yeah.
Just you help us, we help you, and this is gonna work. Don't be scared. Invest in the WNBA. we wrap it up. We wrap it up on that one.
Yes, sir.
We dropped the ball on that one for sure, y'all. Thank y'all for tuning in. That's Jay Blaze. I'm Bobby Summers.
Once again, thanks for watching, and don't forget to hit the thumbs up, like, and share buttons. Follow us on socials. Also available on all platforms. See you next, where no topics are safe, on the Everything Obsolete podcast.
The opinions and views of this podcast are strictly those of the host and guests and should not be replaced for help seeked out by individuals.